Lovely to see you all out on Wednesday night, and I see some friends who are new to the center, so welcome. My name is Reverend Michael McMorrow. I'm the spiritual director, senior minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living, where we welcome all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. And so we have an opening ritual that we like to do here that we call lighting the flames of faith. And then I will do a non-denominational prayer, what we call an affirmative prayer or treatment. And then I will introduce. Well, first let me just say I'm thrilled to have Venerable Ananda Bhante here. So let's go ahead and clap now, because we're going to be... We're going to get all of our inappropriate Western things out of the way, our giggles and jiggles out of the way. And I just know that we're all open to have a wonderful lesson this evening. And if you have 3x5 cards, or even if something hits you and you want to write a question down on a 3x5 card, they're out front. And one of his friends will bring them up to our guest tonight, and we'll let it rip. So we'll go a little bit longer than we normally do. Okay? All right, so I asked Leslie if she would come up and light our candles tonight. So if we can bring the lights down, Mike. Maybe even some Omen Bros if you've got that queued up, or whatever you have there. And let's just take a deep, conscious breath. Just release the day, release any of the activity of the day, any worldly clamors, and just allow ourselves to surrender to this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony at every service to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is a unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this evening. So the first candle we light is to honor the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. The third candle we light for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the four noble truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And the 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here at our center. And as Leslie lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love. And so just staying in this moment for just a wee bit longer and just recognizing and knowing that there is but one power, one presence, one source, one life of Spirit, one life of God as you understand God to be, one higher power. That we recognize that by definition this power and presence is everywhere present, and so we recognize in this moment that Spirit is in the house. It's right where we are. And so we go within now and touch that sense of the sublime, that sense of the divine, each within our own hearts, and call it forth now in consciousness, so that I know from this place of oneness, the many faces of Spirit in expression, in oneness, that I know for each one here tonight that our hearts are ready to be cracked open, that we are open at the top to have to hear and witness an experience of the divine by means of our teacher here this evening, the Venerable Ananda Bhante. That I know that whatever needs to be here in the heart of the listener is spoken to in a way that shifts and lifts us, each one of us, within our own way, within our own consciousness. And we see this and welcome this as good and very good. And so in this way, then, we just know and are grateful for our speaker here this evening, for this spiritual community that allows us to host events like this and all of the activities that go here in this sweet little gem in the middle of Granada Hills. So we're grateful for the many gifts and blessings in our own life. And so from this place of gratitude, we just release it all now into the infinite heart of the divine, knowing that in doing so, it is done. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is, Amen. So we do have a few things. This is, of course, you're all guests are invited to join us in any of the events that we have here. If you're interested in more of what we do here, we have a calendar out there, and we have a guest book that has electronic newsletter on it, weekly newsletter, and we have various ministries. So this is the first Sunday. So we have a former staff minister here and a classmate of mine, Reverend Ann Ray, who is facilitating a workshop after the second service on Sunday. And it's entitled "Get Off Your Yeah Butts." So it's the idea that the time is now to embrace and actualize that something that won't leave you alone. So it's an opportunity to uncover and discover and get out of the way whatever obstacles may be keeping you from your most effective, your highest, best life now. And Anne is a sweetheart. So come check her out. You won't be sorry. You can meet her at the Sunday service as well. And then we have all kinds of different ministries here, from animal kinship to healing support to bereavement support to drumming to all kinds of various things. So we have meditation. This is usually a meditation focused service, healing service on Wednesday nights. But also there's guided imagery meditation on Tuesday night, Course in Miracles on Saturday morning. So it's really kind of a smorgasbord of spirituality. So if you're looking for something to do or a place to hang out, come check us out and avail yourself. So tonight we will be live streaming our event. We're excited about that. And so without any further delay, we're just going to jump right into it. One piece. So we will be taking an offering. There'll be, so our guest will finish his program, and then they have a short video for us to see, and then we will pass the basket to support their community in India. And so I'll let them speak to who to make the checks out to and so forth if you're moved to make a donation tonight. So now, that really is it for me. So let's get on to the business of the evening and invite our speaker tonight, the Venerable Ananda Bhante, please. Yes, welcome. Thank you. So let's get situated there, and we'll leave it to it. Good. Swing this in, so.
Thank you so much. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Very, very good evening, everybody. It is a wonderful opportunity for me to be seated with you all and share a few thoughts, and also to be in this spiritual community. To come again and again together is a blessing in life. So let us make this time very fruitful for all of us. Today, I was asked to speak about a Buddhist response to terrorism and how we have to live a peaceful life. I was thinking about it, and many thoughts came. We are speaking so much about terrorism, but before we go to that point, there are enough things that we have to look into ourselves. Terror is created in many different forms. Of course, terrorism, that is what we see around, is one very gross, crude kind of thing. But in our lives, we go through fear in different circumstances. Anyway, we don't want to be in the state of fear, because that is something unpleasant and it makes us to suffer mentally. The meaning of terror is to be afraid of something, to be with unease, terrified. The global terrorism. Earlier, this nation, the United States, was quite safe in the sense that when it was compared to other nations, it was somewhat safe. But then with 9/11, the scene changed. The people started thinking in a different way. And this global terrorism has spread to many parts of the world now. Back in India, we have gone through it quite a lot. Every day, in few parts of India, it is going on. when it happens again and again and again, the minds of the people also starts becoming immune to it. Mind becomes that softness becomes less and less, and mind gets hardened. When you hear every day the same thing. But this hateful action, after all, springs from the minds of some people. Most of the people, they don't want this violence. They don't want killing, harming. But there are quite a number of people, they don't want to commit violence, or they don't like somebody else committing violence. But there is no harm in the entertainment of violence. They think, oh, I am not harming, but I'm just taking joy in the entertainment of violence. So that is what has become so popular in the world. Look at the games that our children play. You give 2-3 choice, and the one they prefer is where they can shoot, where they can fight. That means there is something, a kind of affinity towards violence. This is a mental state which we have not addressed, which we don't even consider to be addressed. So terrorism has much deeper roots. And what we see in day-to-day news and what the discussions and all these things, we are trying to remove the symptoms. We are not going to the root of it. Terrorism is big sickness. It is a disease. It is disease of the mind. But only symptoms we want to remove. Somewhere somebody has put bomb, and then just go and you just pour bombs in that group or try to eliminate them. That is not the solution. It has deeper roots in the mind. How much of our education system has given importance to this aspect? That means how much of importance is given to care the minds. We are teaching our children how to be successful, whatever it means in modern times. Success with positions and power and money. We are teaching them how to compete, no matter how you compete, but just compete, putting down somebody, crushing down somebody. You come up somehow. Where are the human values, moral values, spiritual values? They are neglected. Many times these moral values and spiritual values are considered to be related to some religions. Oh, we don't want. It is some religious view. We are secular, we are broad-minded. So just wholesale you dump them out. And then children grow with whatever little bit parents teach, or sometimes some teachers may teach, but very little. So now we have to go to the very root of the terrorism. It is something starts with the mind. It is something in very weak forms in the beginning. It is not even terrorizing in the beginning. It is like virus. When we are affected by some virus, maybe our internal resistance power will take care of it and we don't even know it. But it is there, but we don't even know. But when it becomes stronger and stronger, then we become sick. And sometimes it becomes stronger and stronger. Even antibiotics don't work, or higher doses of antibiotics are needed. And sometimes it may lead to death. So also this terrorism. We don't have, just like our body has a kind of resistance power, we don't have a mechanism to face this kind of hate or enmity between people. How much of love or compassion is given importance in life? How many times you speak? How many times you practice? Very less. We spend a lot of time speaking about violence and other things, but then how much we practice ourselves? Loving kindness. So that we have to care. From the childhood, we should bring up our children from the very early age in these values, and it works. Just like we have taken this modern education system as a must for children, these moral values, human values, which are of much more importance, should be considered as must. And since it cannot be taught in the schools and other places because there are so many kinds of groups and people, I think the parents should take up this as very serious matter. Just like they teach language, teach these values. Of course, they are being taught, no doubt. And most of the people grow up with very good value systems. That is excellent. But that is not yet enough with this in the modern times. We have to have trust in love. There are people who don't believe that love works. They believe that violence works. How much of violence we ourselves have been committing, at least in the mind, when we are told that we belong to such and such nation, and when we attack another nation, we are victorious. So victory is connected to hatred, fighting, enmity. Oh, it is a big loss. We are losing the game. We are not winning the game. We are losing. So that which is loss for humanity is glorified in the name of patriotism, in the name of saving a nation and such things. Apart from religious groups fighting between each other, or communities, or races, or many different forms. But at least in the name of nation, that has become so common. Somewhere violence is believed to be the right approach. So that is the real culprit for humanity. When I believe, yes, violence is good, then I am taking myself in a wrong direction. And when whole nation believes, then whole nation is going in wrong direction. So these viewpoints that we create, they determine our judgments. So we have to be correct with our views. No doubt that we need a force to protect our people. We need some kind of discipline, some kind of deterrent for wrong people. That is needed. But that is not the ultimate. That is not the normal way, no. That is only for some protection we should use. But the normal thing would be when we are able to engage ourselves with loving kindness and compassion at every stages. So that is important point to know about terrorism. Buddhist approach starts with practice. Lord Buddha taught the path of happiness and enlightenment. Buddhism, strictly speaking, is not a religion. We can't confine it to a kind of religion, a kind of belief system. Buddhism is path. Always Lord Buddha called path, path, path. And you have to walk on the path. The teachers can show you the path. But you have to walk on the path. If you want to reach your home tonight, then you have to walk, you have to proceed on that path. However great person may be there to tell you, okay, you go this way, right and left. However much discourse you may listen about the path and what are the things that come on the path, all that will not matter much unless you start taking steps on the path. So Lord Buddha's teaching is to walk on the path of happiness. There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. The goal and the path, the means, cannot be separated. When happiness is the goal, you can't reach it by crying. You have to go by smiling. As simple as that. So, the very first precept, or what we call precepts, Lord Buddha told 5 precepts, 5 principles of happiness. Practice voluntarily, on your own, undertake with commitment. The very first one, he said, I will not harm any living being, not kill. Now here we have to consider a very important thing, that when we come across terrorism where some innocent people are killed and some bombings and all these things, We are horrified and we say it is totally wrong. But how much we are engaged in violence may not be with human beings, but with other beings, animals. Don't we kill thousands and thousands and millions of animals for the sake of eating? And then there are people who are killing for the sake of fun, hunting and such things. But maybe that is small amount. In the name of killing, in the name of eating, it has become industry. Aren't these animals innocent beings? What wrong they have committed to us? Was it their mistake to be born as animal? That now they are taken with machines, with cranes, with different kinds of systems. They are put into death. They're chopped off. And when they are dying, aren't they terrified? But we don't consider at all that we are also inflicting some kind of terrorism, terror on other beings. And there is a thing called the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect is what goes out of you also comes back to you. So when we are so comfortable with killing, with violence, then violence will come. As I told you, children are growing with entertainment of violence. They like to shoot on video games, on computers. They like to shoot with big, big guns and bombs and explosions. They like. When they like, what it means, it is mental attitude, mental intention. I want this. I want violence. Then there you are, you get that. Because you want it, you create that power by repeated craving, repeated asking, I want this, I want this, I want this. So then that comes in some form or the other. Not just animals and living beings and violence in movies. What about our violence on the nature? What we have done with this beautiful earth, to this beautiful earth, in the name of development. We have just finished so much of forest. We have finished so many kinds of indigenous tribal groups. So much of harm we have inflicted. Where was the kindness? Where was the love or compassion? It was not there in our hearts. So that's why Lord Buddha says, the very first thing is you start with loving kindness for every being. Start with that. For example, we also use violence in farming industry, for example. When you want to grow crops and you think there are some pests coming, just pour a lot of pesticide. Some insects coming, insecticide. Without even thinking that, oh, maybe there are other ways where we can avoid them, that they don't come. The beginning of the thinking process itself starts with violence. Why can't it start with love? That's where we make mistakes. Straight away jump into, take violence as some kind of solution. In our global, so-called global war on terrorism, how can fire extinguish another fire? It doesn't happen. So war cannot end a war. So the very word that war is not proper, the approach is not proper. Here are some terrorists, just eliminate them. That will not help. You hate me, okay, I hate you. That will not help. Nahi vere na verani sammanti da kudachanang. Avere na cha sammanti esa dhammo sanantano. Lord Buddha says, by hatred you can never remove hatred in this world. By loving kindness alone you can remove. And this is the law which is eternal. It is a law of the nature. If there is fire and you pour more petrol on it, it just burns more. You need water to extinguish that. So we need loving kindness. So the very first precept the Buddha taught is practice loving kindness. Don't harm. And you practice loving kindness in different ways, that you don't take something which is not yours. Or you don't commit adultery, sexual misconduct, which violates trust, respect. Or you don't speak bad words, wrong words, falsehood. So body actions, verbal actions, and mental actions. You don't make your mind weaker, deluded, and that too by consuming intoxicating stuff like drugs and alcohol or whatever. Mind is so precious. Mind is so valuable because everything springs from mind. Our life is made up of what we think, what we wish, what we intend. So where it springs, if you harm the very spring, then how can you get good water? How can you get good flow? It is not possible. So start with this in your day-to-day life, and then you will not have any kind of guilt feeling burning within yourself, which means you are already not harming, you are not terrorizing yourself. When you have guilt feeling, when you have fearful thoughts, you are afraid of things, then you are terrorizing yourself. So stop terrorizing yourself first. Then let us look outside what is happening. So these are the day-to-day life situations where we have to practice the simple things which are taught by almost all religious people, even non-religious people, even a common sensible person walking on the street, that person also can tell these things. But practice is important. We have to practice them. Then Lord Buddha says, go deeper into the mind. Understand the mind. As I said, everything springs from the mind. So change the mind. Shape the mind. liberate the mind, free the mind. Again, we take it for granted. Oh, whatever state of mind we have to live with it. No, not necessary. We have to change. Change for the better, which is very much possible. We don't give importance to this aspect. We are just neglecting. Instead, we are busy in harming the mind. Anger is the sickness of the mind. But we are quite happy to get angry and bring conditions for anger. Greed is the sickness of mind. But how many times we influence our mind to become greedy? Look around the world. The whole modern consumerism, consumer economy is driven by greed. Isn't it? We are taught to become greedy. When they say, look, you are not a happy person. Do you want to be a happy person? Then become greedy and run after this thing or that thing. And once you have that stuff, then you will be a happy person. That's the very simple logic of the modern consumer. And it sustains on greed, not on the need. The needs are fulfilled. How many clothes you need? Just few clothes are enough to cover the body. A good shelter, a good home where you can be safe, a nice place to sleep, and nice things to cook. That already you have got. But still they say, no, you are not happy. You have to buy this, you have to buy this, you have to do this, you have to do that. So advertisement industry, you just look at anything around, so much of greed is supported. So now the whole humanity, when it says, well, this is the right way of development, right way of thinking, then what to tell? What can be done? Making the mind sick is considered to be the right way. With some infections to the body, we are so much afraid. This flu, that flu, bird flu, and so many kinds of flus come. And people are so careful. They say, oh, don't go to this country, that country. And in the airports, they say, oh, stop, we will check you out. So many controls. We are afraid of these flus. But then this greed is such a big flu. Who controls? They are supporting. Anger is a big flu that is supported. So this is something which we have to change. Basically, now this word is full of that, so we can't change the word, but at least we can change ourselves. We can start with ourselves. At least we can insulate ourselves not to get this influence. And at least be wise. Okay, you are walking on the street. Yesterday we were walking on this famous street. What is it called? It's the stars. The walk of the fame. And the shops around there and what is happening around there. It's all kinds of funny things. Fine, that's okay. People are enjoying. That is nice. But if they know that, okay, it is all right to have some fun, but that should not become the aim of life, that it should not end in itself. That, oh, to have some money, to do this fun and that fun is the end of it, then we will lose the higher things and we will lose the track. So we have to insulate ourselves. with all these kinds of wrong viewpoints, wrong temptations, that which weakens the mind, that which blinds the mind. We have to be careful. That's why the Buddha taught meditation. To know your own mind, to shape your own mind, and to be liberated moment to moment from all kinds of suffering in the mind. So that is meditation. Knowing ourselves, knowing what is happening. Ourselves means what is happening in our mind. Is it a good thought? Is it a bad thought? Is it supporting my peace and happiness, or is it destroying my peace and happiness? Lord Buddha said there are 4 divine qualities which if you develop, you can live a divine life. That means higher kind of life here and now. Loving kindness, compassion, altruistic joy, and equanimity. Loving kindness is seeking happiness of others. You want other beings to be happy, human beings and other living beings. That is what you are seeking. Compassion is when you see suffering with others, you go all the way out to remove that suffering. At least you have wishes. Oh, may that suffering go. That means you feel, oh, that suffering is my suffering. Just like you want to remove your suffering, so you want to remove the suffering. So compassion is a very dynamic force. Altruistic joy is when somebody else is happy, you feel happy. You take joy in that. You become part of that. This is the opposite of jealousy, envy. In jealousy, you are not happy if somebody is successful, if somebody is happy, if somebody is beautiful or whatever. But you change it and you start becoming happy when others are happy. So then you have more opportunities to be happy. Looking around, you can see so many good things. So each time you can become happy. So that is altruistic joy, third one. And the fourth one is equanimity. Equanimity is to remain balanced in the mind because the world doesn't run according to our wishes. So many causes and conditions, they go in their own ways. So when we can't do anything, balance of mind. Accepting everything, okay. With imbalanced mind, we can't approach properly. We can't face the situation properly. We make the things worse. For example, somebody whom you love very much is sick, very sick, and you become unhappy, okay? That emotion is there. But calm down and understand, okay, I accept this reality. Sickness is universal reality, and it can come to anybody, anytime. Now I accept this reality. Let me be calm. And with this calmness, let me go and take care of that person, or speak to that person, or meditate for that person, or pray for that person, So with calm mind, when you do, you can do better. But if you are confused, and if you are afraid, and if you are emotionally too much imbalanced, then you can't even concentrate. So this equanimity is needed in daily life. So these 4 divine qualities: loving kindness, which is opposite of hatred; compassion, which is opposite of cruelty; altruistic joy, which is opposite of envy, jealousy; and equanimity, which is opposite of upheavals. So these 4 divine qualities let us develop. Even if one of them is there, already your mind is very peaceful and joyful. Because there is a very interesting nature of the mental factors. There are some mental factors which are so positive, like faith, awareness, generosity, loving kindness, compassion, honesty. These are all mental qualities, wisdom. And then you have openness, forgiveness, patience. These are mental qualities. On the bad side, we have anger, hatred, jealousy, greed, wrong views, confusions, doubts. The mental working psychological system, it is very interesting. Even if there is one positive quality, in that consciousness, the negative qualities cannot exist simultaneously. So whatever you are good with, positive thing, develop it. Once you develop that positive quality, all other positive qualities come up together. That is the nature. That is the law of the mind. That is the psychology. If you go deeper and just watching your own mind, you will realize. So that opportunity we have got. So whatever positive quality you like, you go ahead with that. So these 4 divine qualities, if you take up any one of them, will help you. So at mental level, at action levels, we said, okay, I don't harm others, speech, and all these things. At mental level, we start developing this one, and then we have to go still further to the roots. Ignorance is the cause of all problems. That is where Lord Buddha, in search of truth, when he searched and searched what is the cause of suffering, problems, then he landed at ignorance. This is the real cause of all kinds of sufferings. With ignorance, we produce craving, anger, and other things, and then we act. And then we attract suffering. So remember, we suffer because we create the conditions for suffering. And if you go deeper and deeper into your mind, and if you understand clearly what is happening in the mind, why we suffer and why we are happy and why we are peaceful, one reality will come up very clearly. And that is, when we suffer, it is because we want to suffer. That because it is our mind. We can do what we like with our mind. And when we are suffering, it is our choice. So, wisdom lies in knowing this fact. It is my own choice that I suffer. It is my own choice that I can be a peaceful and happy person. So wisdom means to understand this by experience, by knowing your own mind. Causes of suffering are within you, causes of happiness are within you. So why don't remove the causes of suffering and develop the causes of happiness? And there you are with happiness. So this wisdom we have to develop by removing ignorance. And then wrong views and attachment to these views. People may give up many things quite easily. There are people who are offering with generous heart millions and millions of dollars. They are able to give up. There are people who give up their luxuries. There are people who give up many things. But the most difficult thing to give up is attachment to the viewpoints. They will say, whatever you say, my belief is the right one. This is the right one. My religion is the right one. My philosophy is the right one. My belief is the right one. All others are wrong. This terrorism starts with that. I am right, you are wrong. That's all. So, to overcome views, Buddha calls it purification of views. Ditti Visuddhi, purification of views. So important. And these views lead us. The world is led by views, that's all. And when they are wrong views, then where else we are led other than to the big ocean of suffering? So ignorance and views and attachment to the views, and especially attachment to this view that I am alone right, others are wrong. This, we blame these terrorists, the so-called terrorists, that they hold such views. But we should watch ourselves also often. Am I falling into the same trap? Am I clear in my mind? Am I open to the reality? No need to have views. Understand the reality. If I hold my fist like this and I say there is a coin inside, there are two possibilities that you can say. One is, no, there is no coin. And the other one is, yes, there is a coin. And then two fellows will start fighting. No, there is a coin. And another will say, there is no coin. Both are in ignorance because both of them don't know what the reality is. So what is needed is not to fight with that kind of viewpoint. Instead, try to open and see. That's all. If it is there, it is there. If it is not there, it is not there. The reality. So we should go towards reality and not to the viewpoints, views. So these views are created because of ignorance. And when we go to reality, then it is with wisdom. So my dears, coming to some few words, I will conclude, and then we can have a little bit of discussion, and when you like, at one point we can also do a little bit of meditation. Before concluding, I would like to say that with the issue of terrorism, let us start with ourselves. Now we have to live in this world. Bombings are going on. So much of fight is going on. Now that is one part, leave aside. What I can do today, now, start with loving kindness. Have loving kindness. Start with yourself. Love yourself first. If you love yourself, then you will not allow negative things to come in, because you don't want to harm yourself. So when you love yourself, you are bringing peace and happiness. And others in this world, people are doing wrong things. That will go on. Just because others are doing wrong, let me not do the wrong. If they are hating, why should I hate? No, I will have love. Even for those people who are hitting, those who are killing, those who are doing, you need to have even more compassion and more love for these terrorists, because they are sick in the mind, sick in their life, much more than others. They deserve more love and compassion. It may seem a little bit difficult, but that is the truth. And be open for that. Okay, may you be happy. May wisdom dawn in your heart. Feel that compassion. May you come out of these stupid ideas, stupid views, wrong views. So that approach, if we develop, then at least our mind is not in a negative state. We are positive. Yes, they are negative, but we are positive. And understand that every living being in this world is interdependent. We are all interdependent. If somebody is suffering, somehow or the other it will affect us. If somebody is unhealthy, that will affect us. Sickness. We are all interrelated. And today, with this communication, with all kinds of media which bring us together, surely we are even more connected. What is happening somewhere is known to us, and with travels, you are traveling to so many countries here and there. Don't you feel that these are people like us? They are also struggling for existence, for happiness. So we are all connected. In a trouble in one nation means it is trouble for everybody. That is the plain fact. And that's what we are experiencing. So now question comes, what to do with this kind of terrorist attacks that are going on? At the mental level, don't have hatred. Don't have animosity, enmity for such people. Try to have love and compassion. That is one part. But when somebody is attacking you, be also wise enough to protect yourself. Skillful means we have to use. It is not just enough that we speak big philosophies and big theories. and here somebody is coming to kill. You have to know how to protect yourself and how to protect the other, even that person. Atta hita parahita ubhayahita. Atta sukha parasukha ubhaya sukha. Lord Buddha says, how you can maintain your welfare and happiness, and how you can maintain welfare and happiness of others, and both. Work on this policy. But in some very gross situations where somebody is attacking, of course you have to take action and protect yourselves. It is like fire in a forest. If some fire is there, sometimes what they do is they cut down the trees so that as the fire spreads, then when the trees are cut down to some extent, there it stops. At least it will not spread to other places. But sometimes, if it is windy and storms are there, then fire can start here, there, everywhere. That won't work. So when you are containing these terrorist attacks and other things, yes, sometimes you have to use the force. You have to suppress. You have to control it. There is no other way. Immediately you have to do something. But that is only a small part. Look at the bigger issue. Look at the larger issue and address that. How deep are the roots of these kinds of terrorism and all kinds of things going on in the world? How much of state terrorism was encouraged? How much of religious terrorism was encouraged? And all kinds of things happen. So somewhere you support some part and somewhere you condemn the same terrorism. That won't work. We have to address in a larger way and solve. But in immediate, this one we have to see all the skillful means, how I can be protected, how you can be protected, how everybody can be protected. Try to work on that and take some measures. So this is very practical, this one. And if we see in the larger interest of humanity, then we have to start, we have to work on the education, whatever is taught from the childhood. We have to create a new atmosphere that loving kindness and compassion are the normal way of life. They are not something special. They are not something needed in certain circumstances. No. They are normal values on which we have to work. So that is the Buddhist perspective on terrorism or hatred. Yes, now we go with some questions, I think. Or if you want to meditate first and then go for questions, then we can meditate for 10 minutes, if you like. Or in between somewhere, if you like, we can come back to meditation. How do you advise?
Yeah, let's meditate.
So that once for all it is finished, and then we go for discussion. Yes. Okay, sit comfortably. Smile. Just smile. And feel joyful. I am happy. I am peaceful. I love myself. I have all the good qualities, potentialities. So I deeply respect myself. May I be peaceful and happy. Fill up your heart with love and respect, full of love and respect to yourself. Now visualize the smiling faces of your family members, your beloved ones. Mother, father, husband, wife, children, brother, sister. Just see their smiling faces. May all my family members be peaceful and happy. May they be free from harm and danger, fear and worries, sickness and problems. May they enjoy good health, peace of mind, wisdom and compassion. May they grow on the path of wisdom and compassion. Now visualize 3, 4, 5 friends, your good friends, smiling faces of your friends. You also keep smiling and give love. May all my friends be peaceful and happy. May all my friends enjoy good health, peace of mind, happiness. May they be free from harm and danger, fear and worries, sickness and problems. May they grow in wisdom and compassion. Smile and share love. May all my friends be happy. And now remember your neighbors in your street or your people in favorite shop, the people whom you know, but they are not very close to you, or your colleagues in your workplace. Visualize their smiling faces, 3 or 4 people. And from the depth of your heart, give love. May these people be peaceful and happy. I share the same amount of love just like I had for my beloved people. May these people be free from sufferings. May they enjoy good health, peace of mind, and happiness. Now visualize the smiling faces of the people whom you don't like. Just smile and smile. It is possible to visualize smiling faces, or the people who don't like you, who have harmed you. Visualize, oh, you also be happy. May you be free from ignorance and hatred. May you be free from sufferings. May you grow in wisdom and compassion. You will die one day, and I am going to die one day. Why should I carry bad feelings on you? May you be happy. May you be peaceful. Open your heart. And give love. May this person be peaceful. Now visualize this room, a very beautiful room in which we are all sitting and enjoying this evening. May all of us sitting here be peaceful and happy. Fill up this entire room with your love. Now let us go by space-wise. May all of us sitting in this room be peaceful and happy. Feel that your love is flowing from your heart and spreading, just like smoke or just like water, flood waters. Spread it further and further in surrounding areas. May this entire township around, may all people living here be peaceful and happy. Spread it to whole of Los Angeles. May all people in Los Angeles be peaceful and happy. I love all and I hate none. And spread it further and further to whole of California. Millions and millions of people, and it is a great chance for me, privilege for me, to share my love with millions and millions of people. May all be peaceful and happy, free from sufferings. And spread further to whole of the United States. May all people in this country be peaceful and happy. I hate none. Not one person do I hate. What a privilege to have love for all. I love all. Spread your love further to whole of this North America, then the continent of South America. May all people be happy there. And go to Europe. All people living in Europe and Africa, may they be peaceful and happy. May they grow in wisdom and compassion. I love all and hate none. Expand and expand your love further to Asia. May all countries in Asia, Middle East, Southeast Asia, or South Asia, Far East, Russia, and all countries, may all people live in peace and happiness. Come out of ignorance and hatred and anger and wars and violence, poverty and sickness. May all people enjoy good health, peace of mind, wisdom and compassion. Then go to Australia. May all people there be peaceful as well. Visualize this beautiful planet called Earth. Cover this earth with your love. May all people on this earth be peaceful and happy. Not only human beings. Oh, there are countless, innumerable beings living in water. Innumerable living beings living on land. Innumerable living beings living in air. May all beings be happy. I don't wish suffering to any living being. I don't harm intentionally any living being. I only have love. Now visualize the universe, infinite stars and planets, space. Spread your love throughout universe. Make your love universal love. Your compassion, universal compassion. May all beings anywhere in the universe, in any form, may all beings in the universe be peaceful and happy, be free from suffering. May they grow on the path of wisdom, compassion. May all beings be enlightened. Now visualize your smiling face again. You are such a wonderful person. If I have done anything wrong to somebody, I seek forgiveness. All human beings or other beings to whomever I have done wrong, I seek forgiveness. And I forgive myself. And I love all. If somebody has done wrong to me, I wholeheartedly forgive. May I be happy. May that person be happy. May all beings be happy, peaceful. May all beings be free from sufferings and enjoy peace and happiness. Bahung sahasamabhinim mita sayudang tang girime khalang udita ghora sasena marang Dhanadi dhamma vidhina jitava munindo tang tejasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani. Slowly open your eyes. Yes, now we can have some questions. Please discuss about God, grand organizing design. Right? Please discuss about God and grand organizing design. Now, the concept of God is different for different people. You ask what is God, everyone explains in different ways because it is perceived in different ways. Even the people of same religion or in the same family you ask, you have different explanations about God. In any case, it depends on you. The universe, according to Buddha, the universe is led by universal laws. There are laws which are called niyamas. 5 of them which regulate, we can say regulate the universal happenings. One is called Utuniyama, the law of, in modern terms, we can say the law of physics and chemistry. Why the sun is moving like this, or earth is moving like this, or the moon and the seasons and the rain and all the, from microscopic happenings to the macro world. So they happen according to certain laws, just like the law of gravitation. Everything happens according to law. And then there is law of biology, according to which, for example, human beings give birth to human beings, or a dog gives birth to a dog, or a mango seed produces a mango tree. Now, these things happen according to laws, unless you modify genetically. But they happen according to law. Even that modification is again according to law. So this biological law. But the world is not just material. There is a huge aspect of mind, and the law of mind is there. Why a consciousness arises? Why a negative consciousness comes? And after that, what happens? A positive consciousness can do something. What happens? So it also works. Our mind works according to a systematic law. That is the third one, Chitta Niyama. And then there is Kamma Niyama. Then there is law of cause and effect. I was telling you, what we do, it has effect. Intentionally, whatever we do, that is called karma, action, intentional action, and that produces result in a certain pattern according to the law of cause and effect. And then there is law of dharma, spiritual development. For example, why we have gathered here, what brought us together? It is not just accidental. There is some relation. There is some law working behind. Why we are together here sitting? Why we are not in some other place? Why did we meet each other? How we progress on the path of spirituality, how we become enlightened. So these things happen according to the law of dharma. So these 5 laws regulate the material world, the mental world, and the spiritual world. Now, if you want to call these laws as God, or you want to call them as laws, or you want to call them as some other name or no name, it is up to you. But the things happen according to this. So we have to understand that. So this is the grand organizing. This is the design of the universal happenings that is happening. Does Tonglen? What is this Tonglen?
What is Tonglen?
Actually, I think you want to know that. I think that the meditation just means was a Tonglen meditation. You answered it before.
Okay. Okay. Help terrorism, yes. We can, by our attitudes, yes, we can change. I am B. So, I am B. B. I am being, yeah? Existing. Yes. Yes.
I have a question. So, when we do group meditation,
Yeah.
like we did, so does Buddhism teach that we, in this activity together, are affecting peace in the greater world, or is a movement of consciousness?
Yes. Certainly, yes. Because any intention that we produce in the mind has power. With intentions, we act physically, verbally, mentally, and they produce results. And when we are doing meditation, it is very strong intentional mental action, which certainly produces immense vibrations. And it is because of such practices and such people that still in the world we have a lot of peace. We have a lot of still humanity existing. If these people disappear, then what is left is only fighting and such things. So certainly it influences. If you are not sure whether it influences others or not, let it be. But certainly it influences you. Your thoughts, your speech, your actions. We did loving kindness meditation. It is called metta bhavana, giving love. How much it influences ourselves. It will reduce our anger, our hatred. Already it is a big contribution to the word because we are part of the word. So all our actions and speech, if they are filled with love, then what we are, the people we are dealing with will be influenced by our actions. When people are influenced by our physical actions, verbal actions, certainly they are also influenced by our mental actions. Mental world is even more vaster, deeper than physical world. Don't underestimate the mental power. Mahabodhi, please describe. That's what we thought to tell about Mahabodhi. We are a monastery in Bangalore, in South India, started by my teacher, Venerable Acharya Buddharakita, a very, very compassionate person, very exemplary person who was in army, who was in Second World War, fighting with Japanese in Malaysia, being part of then British Army. India was under British. And he saw all the horrors of this war, and he felt that science and technology would bring happiness to the world, but then he saw that science and technology has devastated the world. So then he renounced everything, went in search of truth, and after 2.5 years of searching and searching, moving from one place to another, meeting this teacher, that teacher, he landed up with Buddhism, a Buddhist teacher, which gave him deeper insights. And then he came to Bangalore and started what is called Mahabodhi Society. Great enlightenment. Mahabodhi, great enlightenment. So that is our aim, that's our goal, that's what we practice and preach. And as a humanistic Buddhist teacher, he said the religion or the philosophy should encompass all fields of life, not just as religion. So he started medical services, educational services. So we run some medical centers and some schools and some hostels, children homes for very poor children, boys. About 350 boys are under our care, and over 350 girls. Girls need even more education and more. This is especially in India. In your country, it is different matter. But in India, girls are neglected so much. So we took up that, no, they should be given equal opportunity. So we have more than 350 girls living in our children homes. We try to give them education up to graduation so that they can stand on their own feet. And we have monks training programs so that we produce good teachers, not as a religious fanatic group. No. Our aim is to spread universal love and compassion. So it's important that we have good teachers for present generation and next generations. So we have monks, and recently, since 2.5 years, we started for the first time for nuns, which was a big challenge because it doesn't exist in India. So we started now with 30 nuns. There are more and more young ladies who are coming and requesting us that they want to be nuns. But we are in the process. Unfortunately, right now we don't have enough space. We are just managing in some temporary accommodation. But that is also going on. So this is the main thing. And I request all of you, before we watch the photos, I request all of you to please come and visit us, be with us, stay with us, and be part of us. That is our appeal. So we will see some photos, then if you have more questions, we can discuss later. thank you for watching. So we have these monastic programs and then educational programs. I request, as I said, you please come and stay with us. If you have time, please spend time with our children, teaching what you are, whatever you are in expert. And we have a sponsorship program. I request that you may sponsor a child who will be connected to you till that child grows up, and as long as you like. Yeah, otherwise meditate and wish success and happiness for our children. Education is the only way we feel that it can change the world, and that also not just education, but moral education, character building education. Apart from all the normal studies, we emphasize on moral values and meditation. So in our schools and children's homes, meditation is part of daily schedule. The school starts with meditation, ends with meditation. It is a normal schedule. And I welcome you, all of you. And Mr. Steve is here, who was there for 1 month in last December. Steve. He taught English to our children, our monks' children. So like that will also be great help for us when you can give your time and skills. And lastly, I thank very much Reverend Mark Maureen very much for inviting and organizing this program in this Center of Spiritual Living. It was a great pleasure, very good atmosphere here, very strong vibrations because of your wonderful programs that you do here. May you all be happy, may you all be healthy, may you all enjoy peace and happiness in life. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so if you would like to, this evening the donations will be going to the center, but it's a really long name, so if you just want to make it out to CSLGH, and we'll do the count, and then we'll cut a check from the church to your nonprofit. Okay, I think that'll be the easiest thing. Okay, so we'll pass the baskets, and then we'll close. Cash is fine?
So all checks tonight go to that too?
Yeah, so just make it out to CSLGH, and then also in back on your way out, they do have a little flyer that has their website and more that, so you can get to more information.
Does that tell you about the sponsorship and stuff?
If it's not here, I'm sure it's on the website. Yes.
There is a brochure here.
Yes.
The brochure for sponsorship.
Yeah. This is about the sponsorship right here. Both sides. It says here you'll even get a report card 3 or 4 times a year. That's all right. All right, so yeah, we'll do a little blessing. So for those of you who practice religious science, there was a lot that we share. Yeah, and I know for myself what I took away from, I've never thought of sitting down and smiling to begin my meditation. That was that powerful or what? Just a one little thing, you know? it just kind of opened. So appreciate what you had. Oh, is it? All right, so let's just, we'll do a quick blessing here on our offering that is going to Mahabodhi Society. So let's just take a deep breath one more time and just connecting with that wonderful sense of equanimity that we developed here together this evening under the guidance of this wonderful teacher, this wonderful being, this wonderful monk. And just knowing that there is only one thing, this oneness of mind of which we all are a part of, that we recognize and know that this time we've spent together here this evening, there has been a deepening in connection within ourselves, that we have created a sense of peace and connectedness within ourselves that we have now shared with each other and with the world. And so as we know that these gifts here, presented here this evening, are a demonstration of consciousness that knows that we are part of this greater world, that we know that these gifts go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless the life and intention of each one here, as well as the Mahabodhi Society and all the great work that they are doing, not only in India, but throughout the world, with wonderful programs like this. And so in this moment we bless this wonderful teacher, the Venerable Ananda Bhante, that we have been blessed by his presence here tonight, and that we send him off with a deep sense of gratitude and knowing the power and the presence of spirit as people understand this great organizing design, or whatever that was to be, that he goes forth in consciousness to really love and serve the world in a wonderful and unique way. And so we just recognize and know that he is doing this and empowered through this one law of mind, this law of cause and effect for good in the world. And so we just release it all now to this, its wonderful demonstration, knowing it's done, it is complete. We release it, we let it go, we allow it to be so, and together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is, and good night. Sleep.